welcome to Transition Tuesdays for this Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm quite aware you could have been anywhere in this world. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, we have an action-packed show once again. But before I start the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. So I want to thank all of you for coming on today, on board, checking out the show today. I appreciate you guys. And I got to give you guys a little soul clap. Little soul claps for making it. You made it. You made it. Your busy schedule, you take time to check me out. We get a chance to talk about some, conversations, sometimes tough conversations, but you guys have made it. You do it each and every Tuesday. And I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. I thank you guys so very, very much. So again, people checking in, I'll give you a shout out. Okay? So let's transition and let's talk transitions, okay? So let's talk about, I just posted it. Let's talk about that white supremacy march on D.C. this past weekend. We'll love to talk about that and the importance of it. And it was so important that the President Biden, addressed white supremacy at a commencement ceremony speech. He called white supremacy poison and the most dangerous terrorist threat to this country. So you know this must be a big deal. White supremacy is alive and well, alive and kicking, never went anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's like COVID, didn't go anywhere, all right? So 150 members of a far-right Patriot Front carried shields and battle drums on Saturday as they marched along the National Mall and in downtown Washington, D.C. So this was a peaceful event. Like 150 of those members came out, and shows you that white supremacy is alive and kicking. And as the president called it, the most terrorist threat to this country. White supremacy, ladies and gentlemen, is the most terrorist threat. More terrorists than these mass shootings that you're seeing, in which another one occurred today. So, but this is something. This is really something. This white supremacy in these groups that keep springing up and popping up and doing things. It could be very alarming and very damaging. And a little bit about white supremacists. Here's my take on it, and I'll see if anybody's checked in just yet. But here's my take on it, white supremacy. So, and I'm speaking to those people who are white supremacists. If you're about that white supremacy life, here's the thing that I'm always wondered is, why don't these people show their faces? They always come in with masks or the ski mask or what have you, or even hoods. That still goes around. The KKK is still out here alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. But why don't these groups, these white supremacists who are proud to be just that, why don't you show your face? Okay? If you're so proud of it, show your face. Because I love to see who lives amongst me and others who look like me. Because these white supremacists could be your neighbors. These white supremacists can be your doctors, your lawyers, your teachers. They could be living amongst you. So if you're so proud of the fact that you're a white supremacist, show your face. I got more respect for somebody who will show their face and let me know that, hey, look, I'm a white supremacist. I don't rock with black and brown people, what have you. I don't rock with you. I have more respect for those people who will show you who they are than be hiding behind a mask or a hood in some instances. So I'm just curious about that. I'm really curious about that. I got my guy from the Pick and Pop podcast, the voice of the men's and women's Jaspers at Manhattan College. My guy, Uncle Smoothie, is in the building. What's up, Smoothie? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so that's my take on white supremacy. If you're about that life, in which they are proud to say they are, Show your face so we can visibly see these people. Because these people, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, they live among us. Teachers, doctors, lawyers, parents, could be babies, who knows? But they live amongst you. I got more respect from a white supremacist. A person comes on and says who they are, and let me decide if I want to rock with you or not, because they are among us, and they are among you, ladies and gentlemen. Believe that. They are among you and us. So just make it known. You're proud of it? Make it known. That's all I say on that. So, again, it was very important. Biden even, had that part of his speech in the commencement exercise speech that he had. So, white supremacists is the threat. Not gun violence, white supremacy, especially against black and brown people. That's what it is. And that's what it is. Absolutely. It is just that. Man, so we just got to watch out for that because it's alive and kicking. And speaking of alive and kicking, let's transition to the NBA has its Final Four all set up. In the Eastern Conference, you have the Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat. Man, that's going to be a good series. I tell you, you had Jason Tatum and my guy Smooth was on here. They took care of the Sixers. Like I told you, Smooth. I told you my Knicks was going to lose. And then I told you, don't fret because the Sixers are up next. They'll lose in Game 7. They should have took care of business in Game 6. They didn't. So you had Jason Tatum going bonkers out there and going off. Man, just absolutely going off. So you got the Celtics versus the Heat. Jimmy Butler, that guy there, you can't count that guy out. I know they played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and the Celtics won in 7. I think the Celtics will win this series in 6. I think they'll win this series in 6. They have home court advantage, number 1. Number 2, they're kind of on a roll. They withstood the being down against the 76ers. And speaking of Sixers, also, Smoothie, I know you're out there listening, but Doc Rivers was fired. I predicted that as well. They kind of jumped. I kind of got ahead of it. After that debacle on Sunday, I thought he would be fired that Monday, but they waited to, was it Monday or yesterday? Or today, I'm not sure. Everything goes down to Transition Tuesdays. I think it went down today. So yeah, on Transition Tuesdays, Doc Rivers is making a transition. And I'll go on a limb and say this. I believe Doc Rivers will coach the New York Knicks. I think they'll let Tibbs go. I think Tibbs has 1 more year left on his contract. I think Doc Rivers will be a great fit for the Knicks, for the New York Knicks. Again, Doc Rivers is an ex-Knick. Doc Rivers is a player's coach. And that was evident by Embiid saying that, that was his guy. So he was shocked that he got fired. So he's a player's coach. He'll do well in the media here in New York. He'll be a media darling. And again, I think we should do that. I think we should pull the trigger on that. And we also, as a New York Knicks fan, one of these 2 guys got to go. Either Randall has to go or Barrett has to go. I side on Randall taking off and trading for him and getting something back for him, not just letting him leave. I say trade him back to his hometown in Dallas, Texas. Trade him to the Mavericks. They take everybody else. They can take Randall off our hands and give us some good players for that. I'll sign up for that, and I'll also sign up for Doc Rivers being the new coach. You heard it here first. Being the new coach of the New York Knicks. We got Felicia checking in from The Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome, welcome, welcome. She is now in the building. So perfect. So Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics versus Heat. I say the Celtics win that in 6. It should be a great, entertaining series. You can't never count out Spoelstra and the Heat. They're going to battle to the end. But I think Hero will be the deciding factor. If he was around, maybe the Heat might have a better chance in this series, but they do not, and that's why I think the Celtics win. They're battle-tested. I think they're hungry to win a title because I think they probably feel they could win a title this year because they didn't win it last year. So I say the Celtics in 6. And then in the Western Conference Finals, the Denver Nuggets versus the LA Lakers. Man, you got the Joker, two-time MVP, and a talented Denver Nuggets team. Now, I didn't get a chance to really watch the Nuggets. I guess because of the Central Time Zone, not the Central Time, they're the Mountain Time Zone. So I didn't get a chance to watch the Nuggets that much this year. But the games I did watch, they're a deep bunch. Mike Malone is a very, very good coach. Actually, I know. If you don't know, I played against Michael Malone in college. He played Loyola, Maryland, and we played against him every year. Good guy, good coach, great roster. Man, they could throw like 10 players at you out there at any given time. Going against the Lakers, Father Time, going against LeBron James, 38. Still great out here, making third team All-NBA. Man, averaging 30 points a game. Man, now AD is playing well as well, too. So, but I think the Nuggets will win their series. They have home court advantage. That altitude, we're going to see tonight, that altitude plays a difference, especially in the early rounds. I think, personally, like the early couple games. You got to get used to that altitude. They're playing in Denver tonight. I think the Nuggets win this in 6. I think the Nuggets are the better team, but you can never count out the king, and Anthony Davis and the whole host of characters. The guy Reeves is playing well, but I think the Nuggets, this is their year to get to the finals. I think that they're a great team, man. Great team, and I think they will have success, and I don't know if they're going to do this, but I wouldn't have Jokic on Anthony Davis. I'll put the kid, Aaron, what's his name? I forget the power forward's name. Who did a good job in that movie, Uncle Drew. He did a good job in that movie, by the way. Aaron Gordon. I think he should open up and play AD, and I think AD shouldn't guard. I think AD shouldn't guard the Joker. I think whoever they put in the power forward should guard him. Should guard the Joker. That's what I think. And I also think, again, I think that the Nuggets will win this in 6. Will win in 6. We got Miss OD on the check-in. Checking us out today. Welcome, Miss OD. Welcome. As Felicia says, hi, Mom. So we got the mother-daughter here going on. I appreciate it. Oh, on Transition Tuesdays. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking in. Appreciate you guys for checking in. So, we got that. So we'll see. And again, so I'm looking at a Celtics-Nuggets final. And I know one thing. I know if Commissioner Silver had his way, you want the Celtics versus the Lakers. Oh my God, histrionics about it. Tradition with the Lakers against the Celtics. I don't know. I think the Nuggets have something to say about that. But again, if the commissioner had his way, just call on the bat phone and say, this is the series we want. We want LeBron James to see if he can get another title before he checks out, against the Celtics. So, but I think the Nuggets would be too much. Nuggets in 6. And I think the Nuggets is going to win the NBA championship. If they get past this round, I think they win the NBA championship. Heard it here first, too. Heard it here first. So let's talk about this really quick. We're talking about, as Felicia says, Mom is checking in from North Carolina. That's right. That's right. Lumbington, North Carolina. Thank you, Felicia, on that. So let's talk about this. And this, this is NBA related, but, it's kind of related with something else. And this is about John Morant with his second sighting of having a gun on Instagram Live. And this incident is like going viral. The NBA said they're going to suspend him most likely. They're not sure of the games yet, but a suspension has to take place, I believe. Not the Memphis Grizzlies. I think the NBA has to suspend John Morant. I'm saying 25 to 50 games at least. Some people are saying the whole season. I don't think you can go that far. I say 25 to 50 games because I remember, I'm a person who remembers Gilbert Arenas. He had guns. He brought guns into the workplace when he played with the Wizards. And I think he got 50 games. So I can see 25 to 50 games. I can see the NBA making an example out of John Morant, just to let everybody know, Peter, everybody don't notice that, hey, this will not be tolerated. We can't have this. And again, no player is bigger than the NBA. No player has been bigger than the NBA. And John Morant, you got to understand, the NBA doesn't need you. Again, it's just like the old song, make another hole. It'll be another guy, be another John Morant down the pipe. So the NBA doesn't need you, Mr. Morant, but you need the NBA, you know? So you're hearing reports about, you know, in each incident, his good friend is always there, you know? Maybe he can be involved in the process, you know, it's about whom John Morant is hanging out with. They're saying that, you know, what's the fascination with the guns, you know? I clearly see this guy's not a gangster, but he's holding himself as such. You know, he's talking to Jalen Rose saying he needs to do better the first time, and then this occurs. You know, there's something going on. There's a disconnect. There's an issue going on with this gun thing. You know, you got to protect, you know, got to protect him from himself and others as well. You know, but, you know, again, they're going to make an example of him. And again, they'll give him another chance. But again, the NBA, they don't need a John Morant. John Morant needs the NBA. And they'll just make another John Morant, you know? Because there's plenty of people who want that spot, I would imagine, from sneaker endorsements to being a face of the league, because John Morant is one of the faces of the NBA. So it's all about getting it together and doing the right thing, you know? From the dad, I know his dad is influential in his life, you know? Maybe you got to get away from different people. You know, it would be a great idea, I think, you know, because NBA is such a brotherhood. I think you could have a guy like LeBron James really talk to him and talk about surrounding yourself with good people and good friends like Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, these guys who they grew up with. And they see what happened in terms of friendships, good relationships, causing, you know, no problems. Because as you guys know, LeBron James has never been in one iota of trouble at all in the NBA. And look at the empire he has amassed. And look what he's doing. Look what Rich Paul is doing, his good friend, and Maverick Carter, what these guys are doing. So maybe having that talk with a John Morant, with, you know, LeBron James's camps, and telling them about, hey, look, you know, if you're going to, you know, you about the company you keep. You know, as the old adage goes, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Well, this guy, guys who he's hanging out with, is making his future rather bleak. So maybe guys will step in and talk about that with him. And again, NBA is such a brotherhood. I can see that taking place big time. Just having some positive role models, positive influences, you know, because it looks like John Morant, you know, might have an issue. I'm hearing like, you know, maybe alcohol, partying, and the whole nine, and then, you know, showing guns, you know. Guys not gangster out here, man. You're not gangster, John Morant, like that. Nor should you want to be. I mean, you're in a position to make change and you know, inspire and elevate. You know, this is not a good look, but you can get through this. You can get through this with the right counsel, being the right people, surround yourself with the right people. But you got to look at the mirror and be like, yo, this is me. I'm the person involved with this. I can make this right. I can make this right with some counseling too, with some counsel as well. I'm sure the OGs will step up and help that young man out, because you don't want to see it. You know, I don't want to see the 30 for 30 about John Morant on this particular deal. Okay, don't want to see that. So let's hope he gets help with that, and let's hope he prospers with that and learn the lesson. Let's hope everybody, these younger people, learn the lesson from it as well. Oh, and don't forget, tonight too is the NBA draft, the draft lottery. So we'll see what goes on. And you know what? You know what's kind of refreshing this year? Usually as a Knicks fan, you're watching this intently, the draft, you know, because you know the Knicks didn't make the playoffs, and so no, we're gonna probably have a high pick. But this year, that's not the case here with New York. They're not involved, so we can just see the draft and see who's gonna get the big kid from France. And then I'm looking at the other guard. What's his name? Scoot Henderson, I think it is. Man, he's a great player as well. So it's gonna be refreshing to see that. So you guys can check that out tonight before the game one of the Western Conference finals between the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. So you guys can check that. So ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during the broadcast, my good friends, You have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. Yep, you made it here. That's a victory for you and for me too. So celebrate that. Okay? So, let me do this, my friends. Let's get to the theme music going. Let's get that going. As we're going to transition out of here. All right, let's go. Here we go. Yes, yes. 1, 2. Hey. All righty. Perfect. So, Transition Army, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for you joining Transition Tuesdays. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And before we head out, we got a couple people joining us here today. We got my guy, author Krishan Davis, on the check-in. What's going on, author? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Author says, Krishan Davis says, time to trade Randall, Russ. Absolutely. I'm on board for that. Any takers will be much appreciated. Yes, this experiment is now done. We got my guy Charlie Nelson on the check-in from Minnesota. What's going on, Charlie? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. You said you're late? No, you're never too late to come to the party here, Charlie. You're never too late, man. All is well with you as well, Charlie. Oh, Charlie, and let me turn down the music for this one. Let me turn down the music for this one. Charlie, now we're talking about trades in the NBA, right? And again, you living in Minnesota, I would love to make the trade for Cat, man, for Towns, Karl Anthony Towns. I would love to get that. I would love to make that trade. And Charlie says, lots of talk in Minnesota saying Cat to the Knicks. Thoughts? That's right. I like it. I like that. We need to make that trade. I think Randall will do well for you guys, Charlie. I would take Cat. Cat is from Jersey. I would love to make that trade. Make that trade in a heartbeat. And also have Doc Rivers coaching the team. So I can do that. I could work with that. Let's continue. I can work with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch us on Instagram. You can catch me on Instagram, okay? At Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S. You follow me and I'll follow you back. You can catch past episodes of this show and this episode on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesday. So check that out. Like and subscribe, okay? Make sure you do that. Want to talk about our corporate sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, the home of Southern Sweetness in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. All right. Before we're done, we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. But I want you to head to sweetcandycafe.com and order your confectionery goodies. Your taste buds will thank you. Yes, they will. So make sure you head to sweetcandycafe.com and order your confectionery goodies right now. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do it. We got to support small businesses. Make sure you do that, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless. Happy belated birthday. Happy belated Mother's Day to each and every one of the great mothers out there. All right? Take care, everybody.